And Bony scores. And Swansea are worth that lead.
Гостевой клуб. Лестер не собирался играть первым номером. А вот это может быть опасно! Бony! Удар! 1-0!
Wilfried Bony has left Manchester City. He's joined Stoke City on a season-long loan.
Wilfried Bony, once a prolific goal-scoring machine in the Premier League, a striker with a lethal touch who could score from almost anywhere on the pitch. But after a sensational rise at Swansea City, things took a strange turn. Bony's career nosedived after a big money move to Manchester City, and he quickly became known as the striker who simply forgot how to score goals. Today we'll explore the meteoric rise and the rapid fall of Wilfried Bony. How did one of the Premier League's most feared strikers suddenly lose his scoring touch? What went wrong in his career? And is there more to the story than just the misses? Let's start with the Wilfried Bony that took the Premier League by storm. After making a name for himself in the Eredivisie with Vitesse Arnhem, where he scored an impressive 31 goals in 30 games during the 2012-13 campaign, Bony earned a move to the Premier League with Swansea City in the summer of 2013. In his first season with Swansea, Bony showed the world why he was such a sought-after talent. He netted 25 goals in all competitions, becoming Swansea's top scorer and helping the club to a solid mid-table finish. His physicality, positioning, and clinical finishing made him a nightmare for all the defenders in the league. In the 2014 calendar year, Bony scored more goals than any other player in the Premier League, with a total of 20 league goals. At this point, Bony was at the top of his game. He was Swansea's talisman, a reliable goal machine who could score with both feet, his head, and basically any part of his body that touched the ball. But with great success came great interest from bigger clubs, and in January of 2015, Manchester City came knocking. In January 2015, Wilfried Bony completed a £28 million move to Manchester City. At the time, it was the most expensive African transfer in football history, and City fans were excited to see what the Ivorian could bring to their already star-studded attack.
I'm very happy to sign for City with the help of all the Ivorians and for all their support, be it physical or psychological. I think it was a big challenge for me, but the most difficult is only starting. Playing at Manchester City, it's a team of champions, a team that always looks to be champion and win trophies. So I join in this spirit, and it's up to me to create my way and fight to be part of the team.
But almost immediately, things started to go wrong. Bony joined City in the middle of the season, and the timing couldn't have been worse. He arrived at City just after returning from the Africa Cup of Nations, where he helped Ivory Coast win the tournament. But the physical and mental toll of the competition seemed to affect him. He struggled to find his rhythm and failed to fit into City's high-tempo, possession-based system. Unlike at Swansea, where the team was built around him, at City, Bony was just one of their many stars. To make matters worse, Sergio Aguero was firmly established as City's first-choice striker, meaning that Bony spent most of his time on the bench. When he did play, he looked off the pace, lacking the confidence and sharpness that made him so dangerous at Swansea. In his first half-season at City, Bony scored just 2 goals in 10 Premier League appearances, far below the expectations that came with such a hefty price tag. As the 2015-16 season progressed, things went from bad to worse for Wilfried Bony. Despite getting opportunities to play when Aguero was injured, Bony's performances failed to impress, and he often looked out of sync with all of his teammates, struggled to hold up the ball, and also, most worryingly, he forgot how to score goals. The once lethal finisher was now missing chances that he would have buried when he was playing at Swansea. His confidence plummeted, and the pressure mounted. Fans and pundits alike began to question whether City had made a huge mistake in signing the Ivorian. Even though he had shown flashes of his old self with a few goals in cup competitions, it wasn't enough to justify his place in the squad. By the end of the 2015-16 season, Bony had managed just 8 goals in 34 appearances for City across all competitions. For a striker of his caliber, these numbers were shockingly low. Bony's once promising career was now in free fall. So, what went wrong? Why did a striker who once terrorized Premier League defenses suddenly lose his scoring touch? There were several factors at play. First, Bony was plagued with injuries during his time at Manchester City. He struggled with recurring hamstring and calf problems, which limited his game time and prevented him from building any real momentum in the squad. His physical condition was never the same as it had been at Swansea, and this undoubtedly affected his confidence on the pitch. Second, City's playing style didn't suit Bony at all. At Swansea, he thrived as the focal point of their attack, with the team playing to his strengths, crosses into the box, and quick counterattacks. But at City, he was required to adapt to a system that relied on quick, intricate passing, and Bony struggled to keep up. He wasn't as mobile or technical as some of his teammates, and this made him look out of place in Pep Guardiola's high-pressing system. And finally, there was the issue of confidence. As Bony's goal drought extended, his confidence took a massive hit. The pressure to perform, coupled with criticism from the fans and the media, weighed heavily on him. For a striker, confidence is everything, and once it's gone, it can be incredibly hard to regain. In August of 2017, Wilfried Bony made a dramatic return to Swansea City. The move was seen as an opportunity for him to revive his career at the club where he enjoyed his best football. Swansea fans hoped that their prodigal son could once again become the goal machine that he once was. But the fairy tale comeback never materialized. Bony struggled with injuries almost immediately after rejoining Swansea, and when he did play, he was a shadow of his former self. The power, the sharpness, and the goal-scoring instinct that had defined his first stint at the club was gone. He managed just 3 goals in 15 appearances before suffering a serious ACL injury that effectively ended his season. Swansea was relegated to the Championship that year, and Bony's career hit rock bottom. He was loaned out to El Arabi in Qatar, and his time in the top leagues of Europe was over. Throughout Bony's decline, many in the footballing world tried to understand what happened to this once prolific striker. Some argued that his move to Manchester City came too soon and that he wasn't ready to step up to a top club. Others pointed to his injury problems as the main reason for his loss of form. Former teammates spoke about Bony's struggles to regain his confidence, while some coaches suggested that his style of play simply just didn't fit in modern high-pressing systems. The Wilfried Bony that took the Premier League by storm at Swansea was gone, and no one seemed to know how to bring him back. Today, Wilfried Bony is far from the bright lights of the Premier League. After his stints in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, he attempted to revive his career at lower league clubs, but his best years are now behind him. In interviews, Bony has been open about the challenges that he faced in his career, the injuries, the pressure, and the mental toll it all took on him. While he may never have fulfilled the potential that many believed he had, his story serves as a cautionary tale about the unpredictability of football. Wilfried Bony's fall from grace was both shocking and tragic. He went from being one of the most feared strikers in Europe to struggling to find a club today. But despite everything, Bony's story reminds us that football is as much about the mind as it is about the physical talent. Sometimes a player's decline can be as mysterious as their rise. But what do you think? Was Bony just unlucky, or did he simply lose his way? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember that you can catch us here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more footballing content on the Footy Zone.